So I got a 1.5 pip spread. I'm on the 5-minute chart. I'm just going to call out the trades. I can speed this up a little bit, but I just want to get the right pace. 5-minute chart is pretty quick on the setups here. So you have divergence here on the 3-period RSI. And I set my level to 85. There's nothing magical there, but if you take the trades at 90, the sells at 90 in RSI, that's going to be a good trade. But you do have to pull the trigger. And yes, it is a top tick Tommy. It is a one of these just nicks a wick up here. So you really do want to sell up there. And you really do want to buy down here. So I bought the plunge. I put some limits in, and I canvassed an area that covers from here. I buy, and I buy a pant load here. This is, I already marked this off, and you bring this forward. So you have to buy here, and when it gets to here, this little undercut, looking back into the market, you really have to load the fucking wagon. And you have to be ready to load the wagon all the way down. Now that's a little bit tough. Look at this beautiful divergence right here, 3-period. This is wave 4. If this is wave 3, wave 3 is the biggest wave in LA wave. This is wave 4. Now expect a little bit of a pop. The promised land for the bulls is up here. We'll start cashing out. If you're short, if you decided to go short where this double bottom becomes a top, possibly. I just watched this guy. I just watched ICT's latest 8-minute video where his voice is crumbling now. He sounds like, yeah, well, I'm doing this and then. Yeah, really. Okay. He's really got a. Okay, so we're cashing out. And it's just obvious what's going on, isn't it? And he has the worst trading entries I've ever seen of anybody. He should have put a sell limit up here. He's like, oh, I'm going to chase it. Like he's selling here. I'm selling here because it's breaking down. See, it broke out. It's a 5-minute box. Dude, really? You know how this is like fucking a half hour. That's like, really? That's a half hour little mini trend. What do you want to call it? Price pulse. Okay, if you're selling here, yes, I would sell there for the scalp, and I'd start buying here now. So as you flip this around and you put in different size tickets and you come back and ding, ding, ding. If you're that kind of trader, you're a day trader. He said something in this video that I think he sent to Vinny on the lowdown or something, or sent to some student, the inner circle video where he talks about Lynn Waldock, and I swear to God, my brain just, I go, that's it. I had that was my first broker. So I know exactly what he's talking about. But yeah, the data feeds back then were due like $250 a month I spent. I had an FM signal. I had a 286 computer. I traded soybean oil on a 286 computer over an FM signal. So don't tell me about, yeah, so you would have sold here. So you now have a beautiful scalp going on here. Okay, well, the question is, do you cash out? Well, if you're going to do it if you consider this little mini VAC to be a place to get out, you get out there. So watching ICT do the video, he's like, okay, we're going to buy here. And he's like, waiting, and it dips into his box that he's drawn just like I did. But he'd be buying here. Okay, well, it finally went up. Did you see the video he just did where he's coming down here? He's like, okay, I sold here. It's brilliant. It's good work, ICT. And then he covers here after it's already come off the supply zone. It's not magic. If you sold that to that, that's a great scalp that you made in 15 minutes. Now, granted, you have to have a tighter spread, 1 pip. I made the spread bad on here. There are brokers that are going to give you, if you've got enough money in the account, the spread's going to be like 0.3 and commissions is like 0.3, right? And those are the big, you can see the reaction at those levels. You can see that that's a big, everybody's doing this. There's no secret. Everybody's looking at the same data. And if you're pulling the trigger on that, and if you're joining in on the spastic, it's funny because it's like watching a horse race in a way, or like a fucking some kind of weird. See now, look, see how oversold it is. Now RSI is trying to do a reversal. Like you're really oversold, but you're still higher. This is the big fork in the road. Once again, another little so-called stop out, a place to buy. Now, if you bought this right there, that is the premium entry, right? That's where you want to be. Right there. Another wave 4, another triangle. The mini triangle that broke out got us here. Now we pull back, and I'd say that's a reversal. This is more oversold than it was here. On closing prices only, though, so you have to wait for the close. You do have to wait for the close on that, but I wouldn't wait. I would obviously be buying anything where I'm like, man, if it comes back here and retest, this is now oversold at a higher price, just slightly. This is the building, buying on the idea that this is the trend right here. But the end of the day's coming. So I'm always got the orders in. I think I got a 10 pip grid here. So I'm always getting in the orders here. That's my buy zone. Set it, forget it. And then I buy just a ton. This is now the new lonely wick. The wick that nobody wants until they want it. I'm like, that's a good price down there. Jesus Christ. Anything below there. So it's just a 5-minute chart playback. And it's certainly a lot of work. Day trading, this idea of a bias to me is just, it's harebrained. You'd miss every insane move. This is the news. This is 8:30 in the morning. This is 9:30 in the morning. Stocks open. On these days, you need to have you really have to, every day is unique, so you have to have the buy limit sitting below this box, and the sell limit sitting above this box. Because if this is fair value, and for all you know, this is everybody knows, this is the current fair value. This is just the you're in a doji 80% of the time, and then you get these explosive moves, rips back, and it could go full insane auction the other way, and just be some volatility would just crush anybody that has too tight a stop. If they haven't got out of that trade, they're never going to experience any profits. Look at this nice wick down. So that was sweet right there. That was a nice. Let me expand the RAM on this thing. I'm just going to zoom in. It's going to be a little harsh, but I should probably take that spread down to a realistic spread. This is a bad broker spread. So we're long. We bought on this reversal. I wish I could go to the 15 right now, but it's the only way to do it's like this, I guess. Okay, just a hint of a candle in there. You can see all these dojis, an explosion. And then here is the end of the day is coming. So when I come in Asia, I have my buy limit sitting in here again, all over again. Because we this is one of these, it goes down, the triangle's forming, total lack of volatility. Naturally, there's going to be an explosion. All right, the spreads are pretty bad here, but we got buy limits pending here now. I wouldn't put any sell limits. I would just buy. I wouldn't sell this. Only because I like to buy, and that's just, it makes it easier. Life's easier just to be a buyer. I was poking around on the internet about 8 years ago, and I came across a guy that all they do is sell. That's all. It was a currency platform, internal. Like, yeah, you want to sell it? This guy's good at selling. Like, there's a broker that you only pull the sell trigger with. I was like, wow, that is pretty deep. So I'm not that into it, So sorry I don't have any. But this RSI, it's a nice. Here's a nice RSI buy. Oversold. Now watch how RSI will get very oversold and the market does not go down. You can see it happen And when you play back the market, you can see it happen. It's kind of fun. So you're really buying at the 50, and anything, if you're really aggressive buyer, you just buy everything below 50. You don't wait for it to go all the way down to 15. But if it goes down to 15, that's when the big bots should come in. You should have a bot that comes in, puts on a bigger position when it gets to the 15, right? Because that's the better trade. So really, when it gets oversold here, you touch the 15. If you would have bought here, 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 you'd be long, long, long. You're also long. Right down at the fringe of the market, right at the edge. And now you're anticipating a trap here, right? People selling. This is the big, what's going to happen? So I would cash out. If I was really in heavy here, and you would be, the big bot gets in heavy and just takes a few pips. The so-called trend bot gets in lightly. Anything below 50. If you had it at the market bot, but I think it's better to put the limits in, because this way the market comes to you, right? This is the lonely wick right now, and you're waiting for it to come down and touch that, so you can get that great price as you're expecting more crush north, obviously. I guess I'm always a buyer, so my bias is always to buy. In a sense, I can see the sells, but I'm like, well, as soon as it tanks, like, where can I get into that dead cat bounce and just load the wagon, or just buy all the way down? Just stack orders in there and see what happens, because I don't know what's going to happen exactly and how fast it's going to be. But when it is fast, it's unsustainable. And then the congestion, if you have trade plans for the market just kind of doing nothing. So if you did go short here at this trap where we had to get out of the big trades, this is why you had to get out, because now that we've been up here, and it's like, uh-oh. But now I got the buy limits down there, and I'm also long here. So because I'm not trading in the market, I don't have to worry about that stuff. But here's a divergence. The robot would pull the trigger here because you have divergence, and you're under this floor here. You closed under the floor. So that's the. So this, you're locked in on the floor that you buy that. And this is the 5-minute chart, by the way. So it's going to be pretty elaborate. This is like the wave 4 in RSI. Wave 4 looks like just drifts down. That explosion, trap. It's going to take some time. Let me speed it up. But anyways, the 15-minute chart would certainly be less so-called setups and signals and all that. It might be less torture. But you have to trade big on the 5 because, so this view, it's like, wow, this is a pretty quiet market. And you still have your monster sells pending above here and below there. So just imagine that. And it wouldn't matter. I don't think any day would be different, of course, on the big picture. If all of a sudden we have been moving 300 pips a day, and then all of a sudden it kind of stalls out and stuff, and we're barely moving, then we're probably going to move again. I don't know. I mean, this movement and how big it moves, and one day it moves so big in the other direction, you can't believe it. Now, these guys are winning here. The guys that got in at the top here, they are winning. They scalped that on the cover about here, I'd say. So here's a little mini auction. Top tick Tommy. And I said I have buy limits all the way down, and I got a ton below here. So this is one of those fills, and you sleep through this. I wouldn't even be at the screen. I would just have all these. I would know, okay, I'll look at here. I'm really getting in, and then we're just going to go in super hairy. I'm not going to look at RSI. Just a bunch of monster tickets down here. So it's about how big is this position going to be, and this is just going to be a scalp to here. If you bought here, I guess this is going to be your logical exit. But I think it's just going to tank, so I'm going to buy more. Let's let it come down. Just autofill that thing. I don't really feel like, even though I can kind of see this crush coming, I don't think I wouldn't want to buy the market either, honestly. But this is one of those so-called triangle setups, and I waited for that triangle, and then it broke my trend line, and I sold. Yeah, you'd have to kind of get on the train up in the supply zone to begin with. Hopefully you're short from here. You're not a complete idiot. And now I'm just going to buy this plunge because it's just my favorite trade. That's all. Don't try this. Don't try this at home. I was going to speed it up. Sorry. I see what you're saying. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Wait for the big impact. Wait for them to sack. They're going to sack this currency and play it back. What is going on? Do you think this guy that's so-called running the show is from an old Western movie? So that this is all buy. In the faster it drops, if I put in now, if the robot is going to do this for me, and I can set that one up. Actually, that's one only thing I can do is build a robot that says every 15 minutes I want you to drop a half-hour script, so you have a lingering. It drops 2 scripts, one's deeper maybe, and this will last a half hour. And then you can have a 4-hour script that covers this, a 2-hour script that covers down just everything down here, maybe 12-hour scripts that start at this price level. If you can imagine that the market could move like this, and what is possible? How are you going to get out in front of the market? And you front run it with orders that maybe last all week down here, and you just may not get filled. And one day you look at your account, and lo and behold, they took it all the way down there. So that would have happened on the euro dollar. If you had orders sitting below the last year's last low, that isolated lonely wick there, you are in the market just by that happening, by that price level getting hit. It's just a price level. And if you saw it happen, and you go, oh my God, it really did happen, and you think, well, there's so much more money in the account than there was the last time I thought about this trade when I put the tickets in that last all month, or all year, I don't know, a month. That's all you get. Monthly pennings, Do you think I bought enough there? And if you look at it and go, oh my God, look at this thing. I mean, let's just throw a couple more limits in. And as the market pokes around it, it's always retesting. Look at this thing reaching out here. Look, it's tanking more. It's tanking more. No divergence yet on the RSI, though. That's pretty crazy, huh? Okay, let's speed it up. I expect it's going to go lower. What are you thinking? They show you speed it up and guess. Okay. I definitely bought that. And I bought that because of divergence on RSI. Can everybody see that in the back row? So here's your typical loss of momentum, but it's creating a reversal. Right? This is a sell. This is more overbought, lower price. Same thing here. But at some point, this is a 5-minute chart. Do you really want to be selling here, even though this is a good sell? I got you. This is a reversal. You sold here, but really? For how many pips? So the bigger picture is when this, I would say, if you're going to trade like this with RSI, buy anything below 50, but do not chase it. Don't buy here. Even if it goes up and you're like, oh shit, you're just too late. You're an idiot. You should have bought here when you saw your first divergence on close. But I didn't have to worry about that because I bought here, right? I knew there'd be drama here, and there'll be so much drama here, dude, to blow your fucking mind, okay? this lonely wick. And that's all you're doing. So what ICT is so silly to think he's so clever. But dude, if that's true, you would put your order there. Why are you pulling the trigger at the market and chasing it like a goober? I don't get it. See, this is the reversal. Right there, you have to sell there. You have to cover. In 5 minutes, you got to get out of that trade. But look at the spread. It's so fucking... It's 1.5 pips here. I'm kind of putting the commissions into... So it's like... Maybe it's 1 pip plus commissions. But you can get about 0.5 pip on the euro. So I should make this smaller. But I didn't. Is it going to tank? Oh yeah, so that was your... Now you got to cover. You got to buy. Right? You got to buy. It's not rocket science. Another divergence. This is a triple divergence on the 5. So really it's the plot thickens, right? That's what they say in the old days. Well, those old days are gone, son. We don't trade Lynn Waldock no more. They send you mail you out the bi-weekly margin requirements. You look at the fucking palladium when that thing went from $80 to some. It traded $80. When I was trading, that was at $80. I should have invested in that palladium market. Jesus fuck, it was at $2,600 an ounce now. Okay, so that was another buy new lows. Now I'm getting filled on a limit there. See, I beat the shit out of anybody that could pull the trigger on that. I just beat their ass because you know why? I have a limit there that just got filled. I know it. It's the dense. So I have a very dense pack. This is only a 10 pip grid. A very dense pack of orders down there. You're getting a triple. I could be pulling the trigger at the market. I could be getting filled on limits. That's the best of both worlds. I'm getting in because of this. I'm getting in because of that. But I'm getting in multiple things for multiple reasons. I'm not just sitting there thinking, well, is this a Fibonacci too? Or because if it's not, if it doesn't check that box, dude, you got to be like a slut. You can't be like, oh, I'm waiting for this girl that's not a crackhead. It's not going to happen. This is the only girl you can get. The only girl can afford is this crackhead, babe. She's just completely out of her fucking mind all day. Well, that's she's charming in that way. That's the charm of her. She's out of her fucking mind. I think that's why people like ICT, because he has that lispy. He's got a lispy, so gosh, he's got like this girl I used to know. You would buy that, right? Oh, I hit the wrong bar. Sorry, please hold. Your call is very important to us. Your mentorship is very important to us. Please, so how much did you pay for this? All right, speed it up. Now, we are long. We're just buying all the way down. I'm a swing trader, by the way. But I have the scalps. I see the scalps. I do the scalps around the swing. So we had a scalp out there. I think if I had my scalp set at 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 pips, you'll see it in your equity. It's kind of funny. You don't think it would matter, but if you're doing 10Ks, it's certainly worth it to just take that burst of $50. I guess some brokers might give you a hard time. If you take profits under 2 minutes or something, I don't know. All right, so we expect it to tank. Now, this is your classic breakout confirmation. What they would tell you in a book is this is the bottom, and when support becomes resistance, it's because it's pivoting. And this is your sell moment. It's also your kind of like trapping the people there. And RSI was, even the RSI people that sell at 70 with a 3 period are getting out. So you know that. And it's also a top tick Tommy here. Because you have double top here. Compare that to the top where this is out. And now you can see RSI. Look how oversold it is. Back to fair value. Do you go long? Well, I'm sure there's an algo out there, a singularity of decision making on some thing that's gonna. I can see a robot taking that. Anything below 50, if he thinks that that's the robot's imagining the new trend. I guess that's what robots for everything now. Nobody wants to work, so my Cuban sandwiches are being made by a robot now. I hired Zelda, the Cuban sandwich maker. We could put a moving average on here too. I can see that rolling over now in my mind's eye. What's left of it last night. We got a crazy. I got to be the bass player, so I was able to direct the song. I felt like I owned the market. Being the guitarist, you're at the mercy of the drummer and the bass player. So last night, people think bass is it's not a big deal. It's the best thing to have. So I pulled the trigger here. I'm waiting to pull the trigger again. If RSI is down, and it's also trapping here. So if you start to look at RSI like its price, and you can put a moving average on RSI. Okay, so this is back to fair value. These guys did not. They're kind of freaking out. They're like, wait a minute. I thought bottoms would become tops. What's going on here? Wait, ruh-uh. And then maybe it's going to weasel like this. We don't know. But if I canvas this area with limits, I'm in, and I'm very in below here. All the big tickets sit here. This is the my RSI bot got in. Everybody's in on this, right? These guys, here is the pullback. If you draw a trend line on RSI, you get breakout, pullback, come back to your trend line. Moving average crossovers are coming in now, probably on the MACD bullshit. I'll tell you, when Lynn Waldock sends you your starter pack, you feel like, and I had a, I guess I could have become I guess I could have wrote off my data feeds, but I wasn't professional, so I had to pay retail fee, prices. I mean, I paid, dude. I lost money just watching the market because it's so hard to pull the trigger because I could only trade corn. You need about $600 in your account to trade corn. The grain market was the cheapest data feed you could get, so I added the bond market because I could trade options, and I put on this options trade, and these things went from $60 to $3,000 when the bond market exploded. I happened to be there, and so I didn't know what a bond was. I just knew that I had a limited risk in an option. I think I paid I want to say $300 or something, or for these things. They went down to like $31, the lowest tick you can get. Then they perked up, and then they went bonkers, and I got out of both of them too early because I really should have peeled off one and let the other one go, but I couldn't believe how much money I'd made there. But then I remember being in locked limit on the wrong side of soybeans, and that's a feeling. That's an interesting feeling. Okay, so we're going along here, and my broker telling me he sent me this clipping article where this guy lost his penis because he was working on his lawnmower, and it vibrated off the bricks he had it on, some hillbilly guy. And so until the microsurgeon could show up, they sewed it to his forearm for blood supply. And so we made jokes about that, and it kind of made it feel better because I was down about $3,000 on 2 contracts of soybean, and just it was 15 cents. It's locked. Can't go any further, and we're just really losing money on that. But that was the and now you can come in here and trade for pennies on the dollar and spread your risk. You don't have to be so, and you don't have to pay a data feed. You are paying commissions, and you're paying the spread. Everybody's paying that in a sense. If you're not paying commissions, you're paying the spread. You see it on the chart. Okay, we're long. By the way, we're still holding the longs on the swing, and we loaded heavy down here. We're trying to make 10 to 15 pips on that trade. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up to hyper mode here because I got time for this. Oh, wow, we're buying a pant load now. Oh, we are so long. We're gonna cash out into this now. You might want to have an alarm go off. You're really big, maybe like a size alarm. And like the higher the pitch, the bigger you're in. Or different kind of screaming sounds, girls screaming. Can you still say that? Girls screaming. Right. Oh, okay, so if you have your grid in there to make 5 pips, maybe you just made 5 pips there. Otherwise, it's going to tank again. Brace yourself. So there was a divergence just before that collapse. I slowed down here, and if you caught it, you'd have to be pretty quick on the draw, but right, a little higher divergence. Smashed through the floor. It's filling my tickets that I put in there without any regard to RSI. That's a completely different entry system. It's okay that they coexist, I guess, if you're flexible enough. See, this is where you have to take a lot of yoga classes to get flexible enough to put these trades on, by the way. I like how this ICT is like, I used to teach martial arts. Dude, you couldn't teach fucking Tai Chi I mean, you couldn't. I don't imagine. But I like to teach. What I do is I teach, see. If you go to, it's like the house of the infamous no nonsense. You got to watch all my videos before you even ask me a question. Can you imagine? I wouldn't do that to anybody on my thing because I got more videos than any of those people, so I wouldn't want to torture anybody. Oh, look at this beautiful buy. If you're in the tops, become bottoms. Just a classic setup. Here. Oh boy. Uh-oh. The swing traders are going to come. They're still holding on. But they nailed this. These people were like, you know what? This bottom became a top. Not perfectly, overshot a little bit. But look at that. But bam. But I'm sleeping. I'm long. I don't care. You just can't care about this stuff, man. I'm sorry. Poor ICT. Okay, I still got buy limits down there. Don't forget. And we're coming up on 2:30 in the morning. That box starts. I'm building by default a big long position here. Okay, we are getting long as hell. We just bought so much euro. Now it's 2:30 in the morning. And I'm just buying this whole plunge. Okay, we took 10 pips off of that grid. We took another 10. The 20 pip targets will kick in there. And we're going down into the end of the world there. It's about how far away you're going to throw your orders now. If it really heats up here, you got to come in 50 pips deep. You just got to start putting tickets in real deep. 20 pips, 50 pips. That's the trick. That's the art of it. Is how deep are you going to put these in? And I can't even call out these RSI setups, but this is why it's kind of, unless you're going to do a 15-minute trade, because the 5-minute chart gives you an RSI setup that looks like this, and now you can see RSI doing a reversal. Look how it gets really oversold, but the price is higher. It's ready to crush north. Okay, so I'm out of that trade. See how that worked? I bought this whole thing without regard to RSI. I cash out, and I'm out. I'm gone. We're all the way back to here. Now, I come in with the buy limits all over again down here, I think. Yep, let's see that. All right. We're getting in there. Here comes 8:30 in the morning. Wait for news. Wait for stocks to open. That was the news. Now, if you're still holding your longs, you were able to make how many pips here? You have the martingale in, so you have to get in heavy down here. Now, if you don't take anything off the table till you get back to what you perceive to be, this is the Asian session, waiting for Asia to get hit. So the news came out. Here comes the stocks. You just touched Asia's high, and you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60 pips, 70, up. And where is this in the bigger picture? So maybe your targets aren't set to this, and this would be a heartbreaker, right? And if you really were selling into that for some reason, because on the larger time frame, nonsense. But I would definitely be selling above that. Now it's above the previous day. You're sell, sell, sell. This is like a good sell to me. You're selling up into this. And when we come into the next day, we're coming to Asia now. I think it's going a little bit higher. It typically goes a little bit higher on these seriously bullish days. But that was the 2:30 in the morning. This is 2:30 in the afternoon. And here comes Asia all over again. And you can see the RSI trades if you look real fast before. This is the reversals where it's more oversold, higher price. Same thing here. You're buying because it's at 15. Those kind of trades. I don't know. We not quite at top tick, Tommy. Okay, here we go. We got sell limits above here now. We're gonna sell. I think it's going up. We're gonna sell into this. We take 10 pips off the table. That 20. So that was the premium sell. When it comes crashing up there, and now I'm thinking buy limits. No brainer. Buy really big down here. If it goes down there, it's just a perfect trade. Because I got a bunch of things running. Oh, look at that. Now that was, whew, that was beautiful. That was fast. It was quick and dirty. Like you're buying because so there, here's your buy and sell window. You're going to go reverse of a breakout. Anything above that you sell. Anything below that you buy. Now it's heating up. So, this is the thing. The market gets heated up here and you're like, what the fuck? And you can't believe they're going to go down here, but they're probably going to go below this. The price is going to punch down there. We're going to buy into that. Okay, so we're in a 20 pip window. Let's start putting tickets down here. Let's scalp to here. Okay, buying more. We just bought another plunge into this. Now, if you're still holding the short up here, this is like, right, if your targets are set to 50 pips, you just made 50 pips. It took you till 8:30 in the morning. This is 2:30 in the morning. This is 8:30 in the morning. Now here comes the news. Market's digesting the news. Probably going to poke down lower. Okay, we just nicked that. Here comes the stocks. Probably keep tanking. But I'm long. So I can go longer if it goes downer. Now it looks like we're coming back to this, possibly. And here's where we're at the teeter point. Like, what's it going to be? This is the news. What people think this is worth during the news in this one time block. And now what? I think up. So let's cash out to here. And let's reload. Okay, so we cashed out. We had two chances to cash out. We're out. We're out on the floor. Okay, we'll go flat right now. We're done. Let's put buy limits down here. And let's sit back. I don't think I put any sell limits up there, though. I'm starting to put the buy limits like this right now. They'll last for 8 hours. 8 hours into the future. Okay, we're getting filled. Let's buy again. If it dips, it's automatically going to fill. That's the fastest playback I got. Look at the perfect oscillation here. Buy, sell, buy, sell. That's RSI's good at. It's buying and selling. Simple lifestyle. This is the breakdown of Asia. Then I'm buying all these dips, so I buy everything below here. Mostly scalps. And now they're going to crush into my long-term pendings. All the way down the tubes here again. We could sell off all the way into the news. So by the time we get to this we could be pretty deep down. Got plenty of time to get there. Never underestimate it. Well, it could move very quickly, very slowly here. Buying again. All the way down the tubes. I wouldn't bother trading that at the market. I could see doing it, but it's fun. Here, so that's your cash out. You should be out of something. Came back to the floor. Actually overshot. So, buying everything all the way down. You were underwater by 10 pips on this. Unless you took a 10 pip loss and went flat on everything here. Expecting more punishment to the downside now. So, I would just cash out of these and rinse and repeat closer to the market. Now you got to come in with your buy limits close to the market. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of, the more you roll the inventory over, the less risk you take because you're not in one solid position. Because I think we could tank here. When stocks open, we could take out this floor from Europe. And that's what we really want to buy in there. Because it's a completely let the market prove you right. If you think it's going to go lower, then buy lower. If you think buy low works, then buy lower. Simple as that. So we just got filled on a couple more tickets down here. I guess we could have pulled the trigger. There was two closes under this, and you could have just punched it hard, but I think it's better just lay the limits, because if it comes back to Asia, which is all the way back here, then we will just cash out. And it'll be another, you're just trading the wick of the day. Like, wow, look at that. Nice. And if you cashed out here, right, this is the lonely wick on the top side, then you come back in with the buy limits all over again. This could be FOMC coming in, maybe. That's at 2:30, so just before, this actually includes FOMC now. I took this from 2:30 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon. And maybe this is the lead up to it. This is pretty radical. I don't know what's going on here. But it doesn't matter because we're getting filled super deep. And if you're going to have a robot do it, where he's launching in front of the market, the fact that the market was able to reach down that quickly, in 1 hour, it's able to get down 50 pips. This is where your big, deep bots. And look at RSI just crushed here. And I'm sure there are people buying that like you can't believe. Look at that. Oh, my God. That is just insane. Look at divergence. Look how deep. That's a ferocious move. I don't know what that is, but Jesus. That is a punisher. Here's your only kind of sell is here. Wow, so I'm seriously long on this one. This is where I would risk quite a bit of the account. It's certainly worth it. If you have dynamic risk levels where you can come in and buy this plunge, I certainly would. And of course, in hindsight, as it's happening in front of me, I know I'd be buying this. Like, I can't. But here comes the next day, a little bit lower. And this is the mind blower. This is what I'm talking about, the slight follow through, is that this is the low of the previous day. And damned if it didn't go another 10 pips lower. Like, what the fuck? Like, you cannot believe the down momentum. Here's your sells on RSI, I guess. Anything up here, I get sold here. Here's your, sell there, sell. This is so dramatic. And this is just kind of fizzling. And I think if I wasn't in big enough, I would start pulling the trigger here every time I saw this number show up on my screen, whatever this ferocious wick here. Okay, here comes the Europeans. They're going to beat the shit out of it even more. Well, this is when you really want to call the Forex police. Clean up aisle 5. Aisle Forex. Oof. Clean up Euro. Oh, man. So you gotta have some deep pockets to be loading up on this, and this is how you make a lot of money, though. You get enough money on this, you get enough dry powder to come in and this will be your reserves now. It's pretty ferocious, but you got to do it. You just got to close your eyes and go for it, man, because this is insane. We're witnessing this right now, actually. This is March 5th from a long time ago, but this is really what's going on right now. It's a complete beatdown of the euro. But I like the retracement. I like the bounce. I wish it wasn't a cat, because, cats can be cute, and a dead cat bounce is just kind of... We just bought more, by the way. At this point, I'm going to tell my son that he's not going to go to college. But I'm like, kid, listen, we're going to make so much money, I'll just buy the college. This is what happens when you're just so actually, I'm in so big, I'm moving the market. I decided to get a credit line and pile into this trade. Let's get in heavy on this one. Come on, come here, you. Wall dog, Jesus Christ. Okay. Having my morning coffee as I drill down on the 5-minute swing trading chart with a 3-period RSI. It's a Sunday morning ritual. I only use RSI on the weekends, actually. And when I backtest it like this, it seems to perform better than with real money. But this is what swing trading entails, is that you have to add to the loser because your stops are so wide, and you have to really have a 3-day view, 5 days maybe. Okay, so I bought again that day. I loaded the wagon so hard, and now I'm not going to buy anymore. If it takes this out, because I suspect at this point, based on how I typically go, I'm so long on this thing, I really don't want to buy anymore. I'm tired of buying, tired of watching it get filled. So if it takes out this, it takes out that, I'll be cashing out on something. Because I still got buy limits down here. That's why I'm not going to add. And this has been going down for 3 days now. So you can see all the trades here that if you were just scalping. But like I said, I swing trade this. When I see it crush down like this, I'm like, no, let's just go. And I bought more. It only went 10 pips lower than the previous day now. It's running out of gas. So if it's going to go down for 4 days, it's going to go up for how many days? Oh, this is only the 4th day down. We're buying into this. Look at that. Look at that RSI. Just so sensitive. 3-period. Oh, that was anything below 15 I'm buying on RSI, by the way, too. On the 5-minute chart. Okay, so we're seriously long now. Market's down almost 200 pips. Buy. I would have scalps woven in there, though. I do have my scalps built into this, so we can make at least 20 to 30 pips on the dead cat bounce. Buying into this again. But we're buying even more now. I told my daughter she's not going to go to college either now. I told the wife we got to take the car back to the dealership. I told my neighbor that he's got to add to his account. That's always a heartbreaker when the broker says, you have to add to your account or you won't, the overnight margin's higher than, so you're going to have to, huh? Because, you die, man. You die in that soybean market. I had 9-minute charts because 9 times the market's open for 225 minutes. So you have to The 9-minute chart was perfect. It fit inside of a 45-minute chart, which fit inside 5 45-minute bars a day. But when a gap opened, you were just like freaking out. Like everything gapped a little bit. And if it gaps really hard against you, you were just screwed. Okay, so we're buying again. Every day's a buy for me on the swing trade. Also, like I said, if you're just doing a range trade here when the market smacks down and new lows there, so that's a nice scalp. Anytime it does a new low, so this is this really giant 3 and 4 day holds on. I held this one trade for 3 weeks. Wow, that's the longest I think I've done lately. 3 weeks on a swing trade. But that was the big monster target, which would be in this world, on this chart, would be way up here. Like I'm holding until we get back to here now. And every time it goes lower, I'm buying more. So it's pretty tough. You're in a drawdown here. If you haven't scalped some of these, I'd say we got 20 pips here. 20 pips. You don't take these 20 pips constantly. Because the lower it goes, I have a tendency to want to think, well, you know what? I don't want to give up any of this. Because if I can build really big down here, now I'm just amazingly long. It just nicked the previous day. We got this big, long, quiet pullback. This was the big scalp. You had to take profits on. When you take out the low of the previous day, you buy into it and you've got to dump. So you got 2 good 20 pippers into the floor. I'm not going to chase it. I'm probably in so heavy by now that I can't even add. Like I said, I wasn't going to add back there. There's no way. Especially when the thing starts to tank like that. I just feel it's too late. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be chasing nothing. So, if you don't want to chase, then you have to be willing to go into a drawdown. That's just all there is to it. There's no other way around it. All right, so if you don't want the crazy psycho babe, then you're going to get some 9-to-5 girl that you can count on. Right? But in the market, I feel like it's better to have the psycho babe. Spazzarella. She just doesn't even know. Poor thing. I feel that the euro dollar is, like I said, I was going to call the Forex hotline. We got a problem here. Currency abuse. Price. It's just too much price action for me. It's very actiony, pricey. Now, unfortunately, you should take profits here, but I wouldn't. I'm stubborn. I'd be holding for the glorious retracement. When stocks open, we're going to go to the promised land above here. All the way back to Asia from days ago. They'll make us, from the bottom tickets, and really hard to believe that you would risk your family's nest egg on this trade, but this is the only way to do it, kids. So I know you guys that what was ICT saying this thing? Has anybody read the ICT stuff? This stuff cracked me up. Check this stuff out. This guy. Community. Good morning, constant reader. My spirit has been lifted with the launch of this YouTube mentorship. I know many of you are enjoying it and have found these lessons. What's this lesson thing? helpful in your learning. Teaching has been a lifetime passion of mine since my youth as a martial artist. So he's been teaching. He's so good at martial arts that in his youth he was a teacher of martial arts. Here, son, let me show you how to breathe. Oh, I took martial arts actually to trade better. I thought, well, if I can kick your ass, I can kick the market's ass. No, you're not supposed to say that. I'm a peaceful warrior. Yeah. The zen of trading. I think I'm buying on pullbacks now. I think I am putting buy limits all over again now. Now that depends. If I let the scalpers do their work through this crush to here, which most people will be like, oh God, we made it back to Asia. Let's get out. Now it's going to be kind of quiet sledding. And if I went flat here and took a loss on whatever was underwater. So here's the decision point. When you canvas an area and it's going to be like, well, what happened there? And you kind of have to wait. It's like you're in a hedge. You're going to wait. You've been filled because it went low. You've heard of this buy low, sell high theory. So you thought, well, I did buy low and should have held on to those or should have add to it. And it's a blend between scalping and swinging. It's a bigger blend because if you're going to buy this area, because you know that's how you typically get in every time the next day comes. This is it's the middle of the previous day, and maybe it's even a Fibonacci pullback, whatever reason. And you just are going to buy there. And I'm still holding. Maybe I'm still holding. This is all based on how much. It's never going to be consistent in the sense that people say, can I get a consistent, can I be like, oh, I'm making $20 an hour, I'm making $50 an hour. I don't think it'd be like that because you make a burst of money and then you don't make any money and then you lose on a couple trades. But here, if you're still holding this, like this is 4 days down, 2 days up, I think I get out. Or I just let it auto cash out. I don't move any of my targets. Whatever. I mean, in a perfect world, all your scalps play out the way they're supposed to play out. All your swing trades play out at the end of the week. It's there. I think I'm coming up on Friday now. Wait, no, this is Monday. So this is the Monday beatdown. So Monday you take out Friday's low. And you scalp to here. Now I'm buying this on a plunge. And see how many people got out here? A lot. A lot of people cashed out on the high of the previous day. So that would be the first kind of major target. It happened right when the news came out. You plug that. Now it's, to me, if I'm not in this market yet, I'm going to buy there and I'm going to sell above that. I'll have scalps built into this to make the 5, the 10, the 20, the 18, 16 pips. And when you spend all that work putting in all those orders, and the market trips that wire and it goes through that wick, if your tickets are stacked on the wick, when the trade's over, you should be out of 60% because, well, if it's a deep wick, then what, right? Anyways, going back to this hilarious community thing inside of ICT, it's just a mind blower what this guy says. He's the most interesting fucknut I've ever met. Not really met him, but okay. So some of you might still be long on this trade, by the way, that I'm playing back. I'm trying to multitask. We zoomed out. Nope, that's as zoomed out as it gets. I just told my kids they can keep their college entry, they're allowed to go back. Daddy was able to sustain a 200 pip swing. Daddy's getting out in Asia. He's going to come back in with buy limits. So here's the dear constant reader. Listen to me now, believe me later. I said that to this girl the other day, and she said, what? If I have to explain it to you, it's not going to work. Now this is just hilarious. I guess this is the confessional. Teaching has been a lifetime passion of mine since my youth as a martial artist. I made lots of money teaching in the past 6 years, but it felt like a job. God damn it, honey. How many mentorships do we have signed up for this bullshit I'm talking about? Okay. Just checking. Let's see if we're going to be able to pay the rent. Okay. I didn't have to same. He's got typos in here. It's driving me nuts. It didn't have to same emotional return of joy. I always receive from teaching the person who would lend me their ear. Hey, can you lend me your ear? Even Van Gogh would lend an ear. And a portion of their time. Just a portion. Can I have more, sir, please? Just a little piece of the pie. Since trading, it has, since starting, it has renewed a fire in me for teaching again. I know many of you aren't in the best of place financially. After signing up for my mentorship, that's a little pricey. Or emotionally, he didn't say that, but I'm reading between the lines, I guess. If you're still in this trade, man, you can tell the kids they're going to be okay. Talking about the playback of the market here. I'm back testing swing trading, the emotion of buying low. Honey, we bet the ranch. Okay, we got the ranch back. We got 2 ranches. Thank you. Thank you very much for that swing trade. 4 days. That's the Taylor method. 3 days. So he says, I know many of you aren't in the best place financially or emotionally for the past 2 years. Most aren't. This can't be real. Who wrote this shit? He hired a team. If I can lift your hearts and minds with positivity and teach you a new skill that can help you and your family, then I count that as reward. Dude, you are helping. I've never laughed my ass off more. I've never seen anybody. This guy should be on some kind of, I guess if the Unabomber could trade. Can you say that? That guy's name? Is that still valid? The Unabomber. This is rantings from the Unabomber, Forex Unabomber. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of off limits. I don't think you could have like penisforex.com. Can you have a? You can just have like, if this guy could exist. Let's see. If I can lift your hearts and minds, I believe you've seen how. He should say, I believe you've seen, but he doesn't. This is like the most typoed shit. I believe you've seen how powerful the teachings are already. Oh, those are powerful teachings. Not the powerful prophets. It's not like you can see how profitable this is. No, you can see how powerful the teachings are. It's so powerful, I had to step back. Oh my God. Look out. There's a powerful teacher in the house. Man, look at this. Look at this retracement. I can't show you any more data. Wait, I can't. I lied. Sorry. Look at that. We bought. So if you could handle being underwater, see how that worked out? It's all psychological. I'm trying to tell you. But ICT is definitely the ultimate and mind-blowing, hysterical, dumb. I mean, it's all emotional. This guy must be a libtard all day long. He must be one of these emotional fucking basket cases. Now this is the thing about ICT. He's already admitted that he's bipolar, he's OCD, he's out of his fucking mind. Really, I can hardly tell. You can hardly fucking tell. Look at this guy. It's my feelings. I'm renewed. I teach. It's what I do. I am your mentor's mentor. I'm the inner mentor's outer mentor. The more time you study them, the better you will become, and they will feel like well-worn jeans you like to reach for. Well, okay, buddy. Now you're getting personal. When I reach for my well-worn jeans, they've got holes in the knees, and I don't wear those outside. Okay, so I'm just saying, I'm not trying to show off my knees. I reach for the jeans that are appropriate for the situation. Okay? I feel, it's just like such a cozy feeling being one of your students. Or I'm sorry, one of your pupils is what you call it. I wonder what you say. My pupils. I don't know, dude. I've gone to boarding school, so we've had some great teachers, but they typically aren't like arrogant about like, I'm the teacher here. Does everybody aware of that? Yeah, we kind of knew, like, because you're the adult, you're in the room, we're sitting at our desk, you're up there. It's like, you really have to. I mean, you've had a real teacher come into the room and go, class, this has been the most heartfelt transfer of knowledge in my life. If I could help one person in this room, we're all now dumber for listening to this emotional. I don't know if you see if you're still watching the chart. I'm reading off his side, but I don't want to have this show up. He's going to sue me. But look at that pullback there. You can imagine the trade there, right? Let's go back to reality. So, on that big pullback there, you would have got in, right? I hope that's obvious, right? Based on what we normally do here, buy the plunge. Buy on dips, please. Buy low, sell high. But I just love this. This is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. What is he trying to do? Now, are the girls... Is this for girls? I reach for my best high-end $180 jeans. 4X jeans. Yeah, 4X jeans. That's what you need. So, or if you don't want to reach for those jeans, you can reach for the special song that makes you feel just in the moment. Okay, put on... what is it? Some kind of up tempo music. As such, nothing could replace them, and I'm honored to be your mentor. Oh, take a bow. That's what I put on Take a Bow by that chick, that hot chick with a quivering voice. I read some of the YouTube comments and your words of appreciation to me. And I thank you. That's a ZZ Top song. And I thank you. Those are for me, and I do not want to advertise adoration. Wow. Yeah, that's always bad to advertise adoration. Look how everybody likes me. No, guess what? I like myself so much, I spent the first part of this thing, it's all about me and my narcissistic I love the feeling of this, and I love that I own all you goobers. That's enough reward for me. I don't want any adoration. I've adorated myself. I mentally masturbated to my fantasy trades enough. I like to get a feedback loop from teachings, and I can plan lessons to address questions you might have already. But I think might already have would be a better phrase, but of course, or likely to have soon, or you're having right now, or could have later. No, everything is written in a fucking paragraph. Dude, wow. These are such profound thoughts you gotta isolate them, see? Or they'll touch each other and fucking arc out. I read some of your excitement and impatience to learn something more. You're just jumping up and down like little children. Oh my God, I had to tie some of you down. Some of my students have been tied to the whipping post to listen to my fucking completely harebrained. His last video, which is 8 minutes of bullshit. Well, you could go here. This is a hypothetical entry here. Hypothetical entry. Dude, really? Come on. Hypothetical entry, my ass. Give me a break, dude. This guy can't. He just doesn't have a clue what's going on. He doesn't need to. It's beautiful. I read some of your excitement and impatience to learn something more. No, we're just pissed off. But I want to remind you to go slow, no rushing, or forcing it. Oh, she likes when I force it, though. She keeps saying, oh my God, are you even there? I can't feel you. Baby likes it hard. I hate the girls that want to be choked because, like, really, if you wake up dead, it's going to be my fault. Some of my students like to be choked. Choke on this data. Help you cashed out of that trade. Look at that fucking thing sell off into my buy limits. The next day, another sell off. No, not really. No, I can't believe the market's moving against price action trading. Now, this is the best part. As he closes out this one day of bullshit, he said, this is like yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. He's no rushing or forcing it. As it comes on time at a different pace for everyone. Yeah, until you get your totally bent over and banged financially from his ridiculousness. Take notes and dig into your charts. That is where the magic happens. And enjoy the learning process. It's all about learning here. The more, I put that in, so about learning here. The more fun you have, the easier it becomes. Really? Cool. I'm so glad. I was getting worried, I'm so glad you put that proof to stabilize my brain of your trading. Now, here we go. Talk with you Tuesday night. My new Padawans, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. As you were. Now, the most condescending thing he says is, as you were. Oh, shit. Really? I'm off the hook? I can think again? He gets 3,900 likes on that. The day before that. You are encouraged to screenshot all my posts. When I say it is live funds, no simulating trades, no aftermarket closes, live streams that get called live stream. If I say it as a demo, you'll see in TradingView paper mode module, which we move to in a week, as you were. God, thank God. I feel it's like reporting for, it's like a military. Look at this fucking plunge here on that chart going on there. I'm sure you're. Change my mind about teaching you PM session index setups. Really? Why is that? This guy's just a dick. Look at your chart. And then he says stuff like, don't look at my chart. Look at your chart. Find the little nooks and crannies as you look back into the charts. Then he's got these giant screenshots of his balance. Who cares, dude? Your entries are shit. You're a complete idiot. You just go on and on about... And he's got these little polls he's taking. And I actually went no on this one. Because this guy is so sickening that I had to go no. This brings my trading week to a close. Taking Friday off, and I will ask you this. At what point do you put aside your family? Now, this is just unbelievable. Here he's going to trigger me again. But don't talk about my family, dude. I'm going to go there and bust you open. I'm going to take the spread on this fucking currency and bust you. I'm going to take the Asian spread and bust it over your head. Fucking pound you down. Taking Friday off. And I will ask you this, Colin. At what point do you put aside your family, friends, and internet naysayers? Naysayers. Holy fuck, get the etymology out. How old is that fucking... The naysayers. Where'd that come from? I'm triggered right there from that word. And believe in yourself and believe in yourself and pursue excellence. And then you have your choices. And 96% of the people said, no, I am taking it by force. What is that? No, I'm going to take it by force. I'm going to get aggressive. That's it. I got testosterone. Did you see my entry here? Let me just go back to the chart for a second. We bought below this thing, right, for the scalp. And we would have sold above that. And we never got filled on anything up there. So it's different every day, people. But I'm a buy low guy. If it's going down, you know I'm in. I'm just saying. My trade's obvious. Everybody knows my trade. And so I chose, instead of no, I am taking it by force, I chose, I am happier in the rat race, thanks. 4% said that. I'm not alone. Love it. Here we go. Now this is hysterical. This guy has created these slaves, and now he's going to try to put some spackling paste on the wounded, the emotionally wounded. It's all about emotion, see. My feelings. And he's OCD, bipolar, and what do you call it? Gay. No. What is it? What is he? He's three things. Ah, fuck. It's autistic, neurotic. Woody Allen trades Forex. He's the non-Jewish Woody Allen. I don't think he's Jewish. I don't think so. Huddlestein, maybe. Huddlestein. Schwarzenstein. Bergenmitz. He says, paid mentorship students that are jealous. Now that's a feeling of what you are learning here are merely experiencing the benefits of being trained properly for at least a full year. Now, here's where you wear this codpiece in your mouth. We train you. We have you in a training suit. Now, you're not allowed to look ahead at the material, because if you did that, then you'd see it's all bullshit. So we spoon feed you every month. You will get a packet of the latest instructions to do on our trading system. We don't want you to get ahead of yourself, because you get all confused and you won't learn all 582 rules. Whereas here at Simpleton Forex, we just buy low, sell high. We don't have a clue. We decided to build a robust money management system. We decided we were going to trade with a 200 pip stop. We're going to risk $20 a trade. Well, we could risk $20 a trade. We could stand our line with a 2 pip stop. Or we could trade a 1K with a 200 pip stop. That's the facts of it. ICT's not really saying, okay, here's an account. You're really going to have to worry about your position sizing is the most critical thing that's ever going to matter to you. Why does he go on about all these, oh God, what's it called? It didn't backfill the gap fill. So that's our step going up that didn't fill the gap fill. It's all bullshit, dude. Look at that news came out here. I just love watching this thing play back. Weekend playback on the 5-minute chart with ICT. We are in the community tab reading all the nonsense. Are you jealous? Merely experience the benefits of being properly trained for at least a full year. It is foolish of them to assume they would have the same level of understanding as they do now. And gratefulness, oh, I love gratefulness, can and does escape even my paid students sometimes. So I haven't trained them that good. They're kind of a little, they're getting jealous. They're getting, oof. I paid, he paid, I only paid 100, he paid 150, and like, where's all this? Just so you know, I still am getting hundreds of emails from new students being exposed to this precision. And it only feels too good for free because you are now initiated. Yes, you are a member of Psi Beta Fucknut, whatever what do they have, those sororities or something where they paddle yourself. You have to get paddled first. You go through the gauntlet. And everything's in a separate paragraph here. New paragraph. Perspective, folks. And I'm not owned. This is amazing. Perspective, folks. And I am not owned by any of my students. And what he wants to say is, after that is, I own you, bitch. I'm in your mind. I'm making people jealous. So he says, perspective, folks. I am not owned by any of my students. Please keep that in mind. Okay, can I write this down? Can you stop the video, please? Can I write this down, please? Be grateful. Grateful again. Be grateful you have the understanding to appreciate the generosity I am displaying to strangers who may not be in the fortunate situation as you, the privileged paid students. They've been even vaxxed. They're privileged and vaxxed students. Then he says, in a separate paragraph, character, don't get caught slipping. Oh my God, what has he done to these people? It's all code talk, weird shit, dude. What's this got to do about trading? This is mind-blowing. Not trying to, next day, not trying to run it up or show off, just sharing one contract of consistency. Oy, please. Good morning again. Come ready to learn tonight. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you were. Now, what is going on here? Am I missing these things? Are these secret feeds he's doing? I never see a live fucking thing. Can you see how an income is obviously possible on a single contract basis? Stop thinking get rich quick You need to eat. Well, okay. I got you. I'm with you on that, good buddy. You need to eat as you were. Okay, as I was. That's my mentorship. When I mentor people, I would say as you was. This stuff apparently doing well in live accounts all of a sudden. Next day. Freedom from services, freedom from fake educators that use simulators, freedom from the lies and fraud that permeates this industry, and you are receiving it from me for free. Now do me proud and press on. Talk with you Thursday night. FOMC 2 p.m. today. Stand aside. Why not? Why? I mean, why wouldn't you take a trade out of that? Jesus Christ, tanked how far? Dude, if you would have known what all his knowledge, he would have known what to do during the FOMC at 2 p.m. today. E-mini S&P this morning for another random delivery, as I taught you. Well, now the markets are random? Oh, I've heard that, no, they have a destination, and we all know where the liquidity's at. Another random delivery, as I taught you. You're welcome. You are welcome. He knows people are already thanking him, as you were. Did you find that episode 3 insightful? Did you see live account proof and logic I am teaching you? Okay, this is a poll. Now he only gets 68% of yes, clearly shown, and no. This guy is just that's why polls are kind of garbage. The choice is not clearly shown or it's unclear. It's clearly shown or no, this video lacks proof. 32% say it lacks proof. I gotta get thumbs down on this too. Shit, forgot. Even though it doesn't show up, it shows up on his side. Tonight's episode will separate the weak from the ready. Give it a few viewings this week to have an honest perspective and see what it is for you or not. My goal is to see you do well and not waste your time. It is something you can't align with. If it is something you can't align with, talk with you all in video lecture in an hour. So I guess he does private. I don't know what goes on. I miss it. I guess it's not a free mentorship like he said. So I guess we're all on our own, you know. We're all just going to suffer here waiting for him to speak from the ready to be bored out of your mind again? 5 days ago. That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Using what I taught you Friday and entering a live trade on the markups of the chart and then showing the magic. So anyways, pretty fucking hilarious. So all the trades on here we missed while I was cracking up about this goofball. Sell. Buy. Top tick Tommy Asia sell. I'm buying this. I'm long. I got buy limits in here. We're going to do it all over again. That's all. Just rinse and repeat. Nothing to see here, people. I can't tell you my secret entries, you know. Optimal trade entries is what they is. I know. No, I took the ICT class. No, order block. As you were. Order blocks. No, all that shit's in my head. I'm having nightmares now. Is that a gap fill back? I like the double flip. The dragonfly is my favorite entry point. Inverted hammer dragonfly. Give me some Gartley patterns. Man, I mean, ICT makes me want to have a Gartley pattern steak tonight with a Cuban sandwich. That's what I feel like. He puts me in a certain mood. But the jealousy and the feelings, I'm just kind of... I don't know if I'm going to be able to trade ICTs in a circle trader. You got to have a certain amount of emotional stamina to really stand up to the... I guess he's training you for the market, kind of like betraying you. Oh, that's what it is. I see. He's teaching by treating you like a rag doll, like too much price action. His price action is cha-ching, $100 a month. Honey, how's the price action on our accounts? Go get another phone. Here, got a new member. It's like the preacher guy that has the guy in the audience with the headphone set. And you say you have a mentor that's taking your money? You're healed, Benny Hinn. Let me blow you over with a feather. Feather from a dove. He's stuck with this persona now, as you were. Who talks like that? Do I do that? At the end of the video. As you is, as you was, as you were. That's what I would I'd try to be all inclusive. I wouldn't want to leave anybody out of that. This is full gender equality. The next Supreme Court justice will be triple gay with hair plugs and pectoral implants like Ren from Ren and Stimpy. And that's what I think we need a category on. We have to fill that. That's a big gap. That's a big crowd of people there we got to satisfy. We're all inclusive. Don't be jealous. What I've taught you here in the swing trading seminar should be enough for anybody to feel free to repackage it and sell it. The outer simple trader, outer square trader. I think the reason why he is mentally ill is if you do claim that you were picked up by people and that you have such inner knowledge that you are now a danger to the bigwigs and some cabal of interstellar espionage. That is wackadoodle stuff, and people do go down that road. You know, there's been a history of that kind of behavior. It's embarrassing to the family. You know, they're like, you know, really? Can you knock it off? Like, come on. I guess if you don't care about your family name, everybody's got a separate personality and an icon and an avatar, so you don't have to be anybody anymore, I guess. Anyways, I'll just ramble on if I just want to update my latest. The only reason why, and there's some guy from one of these traders was his name is Don't Show Me Your Indicators guy. I'm showing you my indicator, my 3-paired RSI. Yeah, the only reason I was saying MT4, I would rather see him on MT4 because I could see him pull the trigger and there'd be a little arrow and I could see the executions and it'd just be easier. Even if it's a fake account. Like, I would just love ICT to take an MT4 demo account and do a live stream or pull the trigger so that you could see the arrows, take one of my scripts or build a script or something. He's trading like an ass clown on Ameritrade, like, oh, look, I went to sell and it said send order to market. Like, dude, if you don't have, like, you're not set up to scalp, why are you trying to scalp, like, manually? I don't know. Like, it's so low tech. It's just so hysterical. I mean, really, you're serious? You're just casually pulling the trigger on dumb shit trades and going, okay, I made money. Okay, great. Great. But why go on about you know, we got some jealous mentors. We got some jealous. He's a mentor's mentor. Then all his students are mentors. So then these are jealous mentors. There's a guy out there that just cloned him. There's a guy that calls himself Inner something, has his name. You got to see it, man. It's hilarious. He's got the watermark in the middle of the screen, just like ICT, but it's his name now. It's a format. He's created a format. It's hilarious. It's hysterical. It's like if you get butt implants, that's a new format. A big ass go on TV. Man, her ass is so big. I mean, what is this, a contest in absurdity? Unbelievable. All right, so as you was,